great day. It's a beautiful Friday here, and I'm just happy as a clam at high tide to be here and talk to you about our hospitality management program, well, programs rather, all the different degrees and certificates that we offer, the different great careers you can have once, you finish our education and you go on out there into the working world. The hospitality sector is just full of incredible jobs, great careers, especially right now. Um, we've definitely had some strange days in the last 2 years or thereabouts, but I truly believe things are on the upswing and the future's so bright we got to wear shades when it comes to hospitality. So I'm just going to go over a little bit of information about our programs and what HMC, what the Hospitality Management Center can do for you. So if you are someone who's thinking you might want to explore hospitality or be interested in the field and getting an education with us, you might say, okay, there's a lot of other competitors out there, or I could just go straight to work in the industry right now and just apprentice and learn that way. Why would I go to the Hospitality Management Center? Why would I, invest the money and the time specifically with you all to get my education there? And here is why. These are just a few of the reasons, okay? State-of-the-art facilities. We have a beautiful hospitality management center downtown Cleveland in the old May Company building, very close to Tower City. Okay. We also have kitchens at the Eastern campus out on the east side off Richmond Road. Okay. So there's flexibility there. You can go and do, if you're doing culinary, for example, which tends to be our most popular program. We have other programs as well that I'll cover, but far and wide, culinary is, being a chef is what people a lot come to us for. But we have beautiful, beautiful facilities. I mean, you can see pictures from, this presentation, but I could show you far better than I can, tell you. So if after this presentation, after viewing it, you say, hey, I might want to check that out, give me a call. My contact info will be available. Give me a call, email me, and I'll set something up to show you around. So we have beautiful state-of-the-art, multi-million-dollar facilities, okay? Another big point, hands-on education. You're moving, grooving, actually doing most of the time, okay? So whether that is doing event planning, you're actually planning real events. And yes, even during the pandemic, we planned real events and had them. Some of them were virtual, some of them were distance, but we were still having events, okay? If you're in culinary, we are still holding culinary classes. Our kitchens are socially distanced and we're taking care of all the health precautions, but you will have a hands-on education. You'll be learning by doing and actually doing the work. It's an incredible value. I'm sure I don't need to, belabor this point, but you aren't going to find culinary school or hospitality school anywhere less than you will here at Tri-C. And I mean it. And we're accredited by reputable accrediting bodies in these specific areas, okay? So it is an incredible value. I always say, because I'm very forthright with people, this is the difference. If you're in high school, or let's say you're a college student that's not sure what you want to do and you're thinking, maybe I'll try hospitality. You spend a couple years with us and you come out and most of our students don't have a whole lot of debt, if any, okay? And you're out there working in the field, just banking that money, okay? That's the difference for the next 20 years. For you, maybe being able to get a new car versus driving, something maybe not quite as nice, or, being a homeowner. And I know that this is like, somebody might say, this is getting real deep, but I speak to people as if you were a family member or my little cousin or something. So I'm just being really transparent with you. You can have a whole different kind of life if you don't have the debt, okay? So especially if you're just starting out with your education. So I highly encourage you to consider that. That value is a big thing. And then our faculty, outstanding. They're wonderful people. I know that, I know them, so I can say that, but our students really do love our faculty. And our faculty has decades and decades of experience in the field here in Cleveland. So they can, really advise you, or advise is the wrong word. They can really mentor you, as far as what you want to do, what you're interested in, because everybody, has a different path they may take in hospitality. One person may want to be, the head housekeeper. in one of the big hotels downtown, which, may I add, can be a very lucrative job that sometimes people don't think about. Or maybe maybe you and your dad just bought a, kind of beat up food truck secondhand from somebody else, and you're fixing it up, and you want to have your own food truck business. Or maybe you've been making cheesecakes at your house, you've got a license to do that from the state, and you've been doing it, but you want to take that to the next level. Okay. These are just a few examples of the different paths you can take in hospitality, and our faculty can help mentor you on those paths, because the hospitality sector, again, very diverse. Okay, so we have 3 areas of concentration. So we have 3 different degrees you can take, and under the umbrella of those degrees, there's different certificates, okay? And this is a picture from one of the events that our students did before the pandemic, but they were always doing different events. So, culinary arts, that's the biggie. That's the one that first comes to people's mind. This is if you want to be a chef, if you want to have your own food business, and I mean that, again, can go in a lot of different directions. You want to do catering, you want to basically have a food business. I'll just or work in the business of food and serving people. I mean, you could go work at Heinen's. I mean, the list is just endless, especially right now. All these places are blowing up my phone looking for employees. So truly, truly, lots of options, okay? Then there's also restaurant food service management. And I always say this guy looks like Jim from The Office, the Lost Years. But anyway, restaurant food service management, that's more like if you want to manage a food service operation, or as you can see here, a bar or a club. Maybe you want to run a country club, which again, a lot of people don't think of, but can be a very, very nice career in the hospitality sector. So we have a degree in that as well as a couple certificates. Okay, and then hotel destination and event management. This is a guy like at the front desk of a hotel. So this is going to be for the person who's maybe like, I'm not really I don't really want to work with food or restaurants or clubs or whatever. I'm more into the idea of I want to run, work in hotels, travel, tourism, that sort of thing. Or maybe you're more into like the event side of stuff, like you want to, be an event planner. We have an event planning certificate that people just love. We have a lot of people that are interested in that. And then also, again, we have a lodging rooms division certificate as well under the umbrella of hotel destination and event management. And that's for someone who does want to run a housekeeping operation at a hotel or hotels. And then of course, we have the degree. Okay, so we do a lot of different community events. Okay, lots and lots of different community events. This is just one example, Market at the Food Bank. Again, this is before the pandemic, but things will get back more into the swing of things as time goes on, we hope. So hopefully we'll be able to do more and more stuff. Maybe not the same way, but again, doing more events and getting out into the community. Prior to the pandemic, it was nothing for us to do between 60 to 80 community facing events a year, whether that's, having a banquet class, putting on different fundraisers, or going and helping at like Autism Speaks or Market at the Food Bank or whatever. So we've always been very involved in community events. And again, that's part of getting our students out there, mingling with people in the industry and in the community, because it's all about making connections and, who knows who sometimes when it comes to getting that primo job. Okay, Aralee is our student-run restaurant, okay? Again, before the pandemic was when this picture was taken, but you get the gist of it. Our students run it. They get to work front of the house and back of the house, okay? So you get to learn how to run a point of sale system. You get to learn all the front of the house stuff, from, how to fold and roll napkins, silverware rather, all the way up to, like I said, the money side of it, running the point of sale system, making a table look nice, like all that stuff, the different kinds of service. And then, when you do back of the house, that's when you're actually cooking. And all of our students get to come up with like a 3-course menu that they sell as the special of the day. So I think that's pretty cool. And you get to, whatever it is, it's sort of like a trial run. You see what people like and you put on your best food for them. So you get to make a starter, a main, and a dessert. And I think and sell it, like I said, as the special of the day. So you come up with your own. So I thought that was pretty nice. Purevita is a restaurant next door to us downtown at the Hospitality Management Center. And I always bring up Purevita because we have a relationship with them. If you were to come to the facility downtown, the Hospitality Management Center, you would see, it's actually right in front of where my office is, you would see there's a big window in the back of the house at Purevita. And it's sort of like a window into your future if you're going to be a culinary student, what it's like. So it's pretty neat, actually. But yeah, Purevita, they've actually reopened. Right now they're just grab and go for the time being, but they have a large space in their restaurant too. And so we have a garage door separating our buildings, or the wall rather. And so when we have big events, we'll share our space because the Hospitality Management Center, we have a large, right up front, we have a large sort of atrium area where we have a demo kitchen. So Purevita can open up their garage door, which has got a really cool artwork on it. And when they have a big party, you know, we'll share space with them, or when we have a big party, they'll open it up for us. So it's pretty nice. It's a good relationship we have with them. So we have a lot of industry connections, and harkening back to what I said about, you know, it being, you know, getting a good job can be about who knows who, right? So this chef that you see, Chef Dante, he runs a lot of restaurants and has opened a lot of restaurants in Cleveland. He's definitely sort of like a famous chef around here. Not sort of, he is. He's a very good person, and he's definitely hired some of our students and really catapulted their careers forward. So, for example, okay, we had a student, Amanda. I miss her dearly. She's an awesome person. She did a class, and one of the final classes that you take as a culinary student, you have to make the same meal every week. And it's basically you're learning to really get your mise en place, which is when you prepare all your ingredients and your tools and everything ahead of time. It's a French term, and it's part of being a chef. These are all things you learn in culinary school. But you know, every week you perfect that more. Every week you perfect the dish more, until finally, the final of the class is you prepare the dish under the observation of these chefs that are professionals, you know, well esteemed out in the industry here in Cleveland. And so Chef Dante was one of the chefs that watched her. He watched her work, he watched her mise en place, he watched everything. And after the class, you know, obviously she passed, she did very well, and he tasted her food and all that. He approached her. He said, "Hey, I saw how well clean you worked. I tasted your food. It was amazing." He goes, "Do you want to work for me?" And if you're coming from the outside, you can't know what a huge deal this was. But it leveled up her career. Like what may have taken her a decade to achieve, he leveled her up in like one day. So it really, really was very cool. But I mean, that's not uncommon at all. That happens a lot with our students. But that's just one example. Okay, our graduates get jobs. Right now, I mean, there's absolutely no reason for anyone not to have, if you want to be working in the hospitality sector, for you not to be, because people are absolutely desperate for employees. As we rebound, or, you know, as whatever we're in right now, coming out, or still in the pandemic or whatever, but they are looking for people to work. And I'm seeing people get paid amounts I've never seen before. There's sign-on bonuses, there's insurance, there's days off of the week that in the past never were the case. And so the hospitality industry is really undergoing a true transformation, and to the benefit of the workers. And that makes me very, very, very happy to see, because and all the different groups like the American Culinary Federation and different external group, like they're all talking about this. How can we make this a more appealing industry to people to want to make their careers in? So now, if you're interested in hospitality, if you're interested in getting in the field, if you have a passion for cooking for others, now of all times, now of all times would be the time to get into it. Okay. So there's my contact information at the bottom, and that's actually Amanda there. That's from a couple years ago, but that's actually her cooking. This was like right before the pandemic, but this was a showcase that I did in our demonstration studio kitchen. So we brought a lot of people in and had different students show what they were cooking, what they were making, and it was a really cool event. Hopefully we can get back to doing these soon. But yeah, there's my contact info at the bottom. If you have any questions or want to discuss it, definitely can give me a call, email me, whatever. I'd be happy to talk to you, set up a tour, etc. Okay, and since this is Success Week, I'm going to give my 2 cents here. So I've been working in higher ed, particularly community colleges, since 2008. Okay, so this is basically where I've made my whole career, is at community colleges. And I've often reflected, I said, so what is the one thing that I notice that successful students have in common? And I have noticed time and time again, it is the students who are proactive. It doesn't have to do with natural ability. It doesn't have to do with money. It doesn't have to do with any of that stuff that you might think, well, if I'm going to be successful in life, I need these things. It's more of an attitude. They're proactive about their lives. They're proactive about their education. They don't wait for things to happen to them. They happen to life. So here's a good example. Like let's say that you struggle in an area. Let's say you've got to take an economics class and you know that is not going to be your strong suit. So the first day of class, a proactive person, after the professor goes, a proactive person, knowing that this is a topic that they might be more challenging for them than some, would sit in the front row of class if they're meeting in person. They'd be there 5 minutes early. They would, listen to the professor, go cover the syllabus, and after class ends, they'd either go and introduce themselves to the professor, or they would, introduce themselves during the first office hours the professor holds, okay? So that the professor knows them, the student has the opportunity to discuss their concerns with their professor, and the professor can be like, oh yeah, there's going to be a study group, or this is how other people have succeeded in the class, okay? And that kind of behavior can make all the difference between being successful and then the other person who maybe knows that this is going to be a challenging class for them, but how do they behave? Oh, well, they wait. They maybe show up just on time and sit at the back and never go to an office hours and, complain that they're struggling, but not really, go to any tutoring sessions or reach out until it's midterms and they have an F. Okay, or they're not doing so hot in the class. And it's a lot harder to recover when you've let things go for so long than it is if you sort of, as I like to say, you nip in the bud right away. So from the jump that's something you struggle with. So you get help right away. You go to every tutoring session even before you need it, technically. And then, that can, again, I'm telling you, I have observed this time and time again with students. I've observed it in my own life. Be proactive. And it's hard because we get scared or we get nerved up. Lord, I definitely do myself. But whenever you can be proactive, please do. Like if you think things are going left, like, your first day you're scared, tell the professor that. Or, this could even be extended into other things in life. Let's say you're going through a financial situation and you're afraid, something's gonna just, like if you thought your lights were gonna get turned off, call the electric company. You know what I mean? Let them know, like, don't wait. Don't wait. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. Do not wait. Be proactive. Do not be reactive. Be proactive. Okay, off my soapbox. All right, that's all I had for hospitality. So I'm going to stop sharing right now. And I am going to make Katie center. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much, Sarah. And that was such a great message that Sarah just shared. And I couldn't agree more about being proactive and not waiting. And it's actually the best segue into what I'm going to talk about now, which is the opportunity for transfer for a bachelor's degree. So my name is Katie Brayford. I work in the Transfer Center at Tri-C, and we help students that want to go on and get bachelor's degrees after their time at Tri-C. So We just heard about wonderful opportunities in hospitality and all of the job opportunities that are available to students that graduate from our hospitality programs. It truly is an amazing program and such a unique opportunity at Tri-C. And actually, on a personal note, my husband is a graduate of the hospitality program at Tri-C, and he has a great career in the field. So I can speak to it from a personal note as well, that it really is a fabulous place to be. So what I want to talk about for just a few minutes is, like I said, transfer for a bachelor's degree. It's not something that you necessarily have to do, but some students are interested in doing this, and it's absolutely there for you to pursue. And my office is designed to help you with that process. So we're going to walk through just a few slides here so that you can understand a little bit more about what that means and what we have to offer. So the Transfer Center, right now there are 3 transfer specialists, or three of us that you can meet with to help you out with your plans at Tri-C. Myself, Katie Brayford, we also have Jamie Zoller and Melissa Swafford, and we're in the process of expanding that team right now as well. So what we do is we can help you explore transfer pathways and partnerships. We can help you research schools and programs, even scholarship opportunities at another school. We can help you connect with a 4-year school. So what is a 4-year school? That would be something like Cleveland State University, Baldwin Wallace University, any schools that are granting bachelor's degrees would be a 4-year school. We can actually help you with the application process, really any general transfer planning assistance, and then we do offer some special events and fairs and tours and whatnot as well. And external advising refers to the opportunity to actually meet with advisors from the other schools that you're looking at on a Tri-C campus. That's something that we offer as well. So right now we're offering on-campus appointments, or we can also meet by phone or WebEx. So whatever's easiest for you, we try to kind of meet you where you're at. So if you're curious, I'll talk later on about how to schedule an appointment, but like I said, we want to meet with you however is easiest for you. So if that's in person or virtually, we're there for you. So some tips or some things that you want to really think about, and to Sarah's point about being proactive, if you're at all considering a bachelor's degree in the future, it's good to start thinking about that early, even in your very first semester at Tri-C. So make sure that you let your counselor, your Tri-C counselor, know that you're planning to transfer at some point so that they can kind of build that into your academic plan while you're at Tri-C. You should connect with the Transfer Center early, which is my office, and we can help support you in this process of planning ahead. It's really helpful if you kind of know what major you want to go into or what school or schools you might be interested in, so we can help you narrow that down. And we have some great partnerships that you can start looking at if you're not really sure of, which I can share those in just a minute. We offer associate degrees that are specifically designed for transfer. Those are the Associate of Arts and Associate of Science degrees. But some of our applied degrees, like the ones in hospitality that we're talking about right now, there are some really great transfer pathways available for those as well, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. So that'll really help you leverage that degree that you're earning also. All right, so what is a partnership? It's kind of different depending on the school, but we have over 30 different partner schools. The basic idea is that we've gotten together with another school and put together an agreement that basically guarantees you some sort of benefits going there as a transfer student from Tri-C. So it kind of helps to streamline the process. Most of our partnerships include something that's called a transfer guide or a sample pathway that kind of shows you how your courses are going to move over to that school and helps you map it all out and see how it all fits together. So the goal is to help you save time and money. That's always the goal with transfer. We do offer something called dual admission with a few select schools. That's a special partnership that allows you to actually be admitted to both Tri-C and the partner school at the same time. And then we have lots of great statewide transfer agreements in Ohio. We're really fortunate that the state has really taken transfer pretty seriously and put together some great resources to make sure that credits will transfer really nicely between all the public schools in Ohio. So that includes Tri-C, so any of our community colleges, and then there's 13 public universities as well. That would be things like Bowling Green, Cleveland State, Ohio University, and so on. I have the website here on the screen if you wanted to check those partnerships out. All right, so with Cleveland State specifically, we just launched something new. It's called the Future Vikings program. So this is for a student that knows that eventually they want to go to Cleveland State after their Tri-C graduation. Future Vikings is a program that we designed to really encompass all of our different partnerships that we have with CSU. We have lots of different partnerships in different areas. So if you want to get started in the Future Vikings program, just email futurevikings@tri-c.edu, and we'll help you get started and help you pick the right partnership agreement that's going to be best for you to utilize to help you be successful and help you get the most out of your time at Tri-C and eventually get over to Cleveland State. All right, so let's talk about hospitality specifically for just a minute here. I mentioned before that the Associate of Applied Business degree in hospitality, we have some partnership agreements available. So with Baldwin Wallace University, for those of you that are earning an AAB in hospitality management, they have a sample pathway or partnership that actually maps that degree into a Bachelor of Arts in Hospitality and Tourism Management. So that's a great opportunity if you did want to continue on and earn a bachelor's degree. It really helps you make great use of the credits that you're earning at Tri-C in the hospitality management program. For Bowling Green State University, they have a newer program that they're offering. It's a Bachelor of Science degree in Resort and Attraction Management. So they actually have it mapped out for the Associate of Arts degree students at Tri-C, but for those of you in the hospitality programs, we could certainly help you look at how that could fit in and be a good opportunity for you as well. And for those of you that know where Bowling Green is located, the reason that they're offering this degree is because strategically they're right by Cedar Point. So the whole idea is that you're actually getting hands-on experience at Cedar Point and with Cedar Point's leadership and management to get you that industry experience as part of that bachelor's degree program. And then Kent State University, they have a Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management as well, so they have it mapped out for our AAB students also. So some great transfer opportunities there. Like you've heard many times already during our presentation, you know, a degree from Tri-C in this field can really take you far. But if you are thinking about going on to get a second degree, a bachelor's degree, definitely reach out and make contact with my office with the Transfer Center. Going back to Sarah's message of being proactive and not waiting, even if this is just something that you're kind of curious about and just want to talk about it, definitely connect with us and let us know. I have our website on the screen. It's tri-c.edu/campus transfer centers. On that page, you'll find a link to schedule an appointment, or there's also direct contact information for me and my colleagues. You can find our emails and phone numbers there. So I welcome you to reach out, and that's all I have at the moment for transfer information. Sarah, anything else on hospitality that you wanted to share before we wrap up?
No, that's great. Like I said, if you want to take a tour, you want to talk to me, by all means, reach out. I'm here.
Great.
Well, I want to thank Katie and Sarah for sharing that information about our transfer center and our awesome hospitality management program. I hope this information is helpful and informative, and that you take advantage of what you heard today. And we want to thank you for joining our session. Thanks a lot.